Generations to come will scarce believe that such a one as this, ever in flesh and blood, walked upon this earth.
Since the first dawn of civilization, Hindus from every walk of life have followed the sacrament of open-air cremation. It is the most profound and mystical of all 16 Hindu sacraments, and a sublime ritual science that pierces the fabric between man and God. At the heart of this sacrament is Agni, invoked in daily worship as the Lord of consecrated fire and a prism of divine energy connecting heaven and earth. And by sacrificing oneself to Agni after death, mortal man is made immortal. Rather than destroy human remains, Agni purifies them amongst the fusion of wood, fire and ritually pure offerings, and liberates the soul to rise amongst the flames and weave towards the heavens. The soul soars amongst the celestial winds, becoming larger than the stars and all the skies, finally resting in Pitriloka, the land of gods and forefathers. The great rishis enshrined this ritual science in the Rig Veda to ensure souls could fulfill their spiritual destiny, but also warned that without these last rites, souls continued to linger on earth, shackled in a grotesque form of solitude and torment. Hindu last rites became a sacred debt of immense responsibility, integral to the very process of life, death, and rebirth. "70% of Britons today prefer cremation, but when it was first proposed a century ago, many recoiled in shock and horror. Literary giants and free thinkers challenged these prejudices, and in 1894 a small boy's funeral changed Britain forever, when Dr. William Price provoked outcry and prosecution by naturally cremating his son. Justice Stephen later ruled that Dr. Price had a fundamental right to perform the cremation. It had caused the public no harm or nuisance, and so Dr. Price was under no obligation to follow conventional mainstream funerals. The first purpose-built crematoria were built soon after, despite very little demand in those years. Eventually, however, cremation became the funeral of choice for British royalty, prime ministers, and even archbishops. Under the Cremation Act, the Home Office itself arranged funeral pyres in Britain for Nepalese royalty and also Hindus and Sikhs serving in the British Army. However, bureaucratic cremation authorities have since denied families their legal right to natural cremation, compelling one man to now confront those same prejudices Dr. Price overcame a century ago.
Funeral pyre.
Funeral pyre.
A funeral pyre.
His campaign has attracted worldwide attention, and led to the most publicised judicial review in British legal history.
This is our religious right. This is our birthright.
Baba Ghai is an Amnesty International Lifetime Achievement Award winner, 2006 UNESCO Gold Medalist, Middle East Ambassador for Peace, and on the International Human Rights Commission Roll of Honour. First denied legal aid and then awarded very limited funding, leading barristers Rambi de Mello, Tony Newman and Satunda Juss are taking the case to the highest courts in the land. Baba Ghai's legal arguments were strongly supported by Justice Sir Andrew Collins in March 2007 and will soon receive a full hearing in the High Court. Hindus have been compelled to change their last rites more than any other religious community in Britain.
We are gathered here to say goodbye to our good friend Thomas. Goodbye, Thomas.
One-size-fits-all bereavement services deny all individuals the freedom of choice. With multiple cremations to save costs, families cannot even be sure whose ashes they are taking home. In November 2005, Baba Ghai celebrated a landmark victory by persuading the government of Pakistan to pay for and construct the very first natural cremation ground in the Islamic world, and again in Greece in March 2006. Years of political lobbying finally persuaded the Greek parliament to legalise cremation. During the 2001 foot-and-mouth crisis, government agencies tested open-air pyres and concluded there was no harm to health or the environment. Furthermore, a tree replanting scheme would replenish British woodlands. In contrast, only 3 gas cremations consume the same energy as the average car does in a whole year, and by 2010, crematoria will become the single largest source of poisonous airborne mercury. This campaign is supported by organisations and leaders from across the spectrum.
The Commission for Racial Equality did address the question of Muslim burials. Why didn't they address the question of cremation?
The campaign is offering a fair, safe and responsible option for all those who cherish faith, freedom and choice.